Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Ashley, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about my tuition charts. So you guys have heard me mention my tuition charts in a lot of different videos, and I always get comments asking if I have a video on my tuition charts, what are my tuition charts, and in today's video I'm going to show you what they are, how I use it, how I make it, well, not how I make it, I'm probably going to do a separate video on how I make it, but I'm just going to show you guys what my tuition chart is. So I don't know if I'm going to sell my tuition chart. If you guys know, I do sell my daycare handbook. It has all of my policies. I think it's like 7 pages. I also have a video on my handbook, so if you guys want to watch that video before making a purchase, I highly suggest you sit down and you watch that video, because basically what's in that video is what you're going to get emailed to you whenever you make a purchase of my handbook, and then you can like edit it, you can delete my hours of operation, put yours if ours are different. Like there's a lot of adjusting that you can do to that handbook, and then you can use it for your program. So I have that for sale. I also have my sign in and out sheets for sale. Again, if you guys want any information on that, I would just tell you guys to just send me an email, and then I'll give you guys the prices, I'll give you guys the payment methods and all of that, so you guys can purchase that if you want. But I don't know if I'm going to sell my tuition charts. If you guys want me to sell them, just let me know. I'll get a price together. So my tuition chart is basically an itemized statement. So whenever it comes to finances and daycare or anything in general, even when you have a business partner or whatever it is, I like for everything to be black and white. I like everything to be super detailed but simple at the same time. So that's why I made my tuition chart. I've come into a lot of problems throughout the years of not having everything like written down or detailed, and I came up with this to be able to solve that issue. So I'm gonna include my tuition chart on the screen so you guys can see what we're talking about. In this example, it's for my student named Rebecca. You guys know Rebecca is always an example that I use. It's not an actual student. And then her tuition payment is $100 a week. So when you guys are looking at the tuition chart, at the top I always put the child's name, the year, and my EIN. So in this case, like I said, it's Rebecca's 2020 tuition chart, and then my EIN, it's X'd out, but you guys can go ahead and put your EIN at the top. The only reason why I have my EIN on this paper is because at the end of the year, this is what I give the parents when it comes time for taxes. So whenever they need to do their taxes, I give them 1 copy. I make 2 copies. I give them one's for me, and then I also email it to them. And the reason why I email it to them is because a lot of parents will forget to take the paper copy with them to do their taxes, and if they have it in their email, they can just pull it up and they have all of the information as well. But I like paper copy. I don't like to have a whole bunch of things saved on my phone, or my computer. So I print one and then I put it in their file in my daycare binder. So that's like what goes in their file, if that makes any sense. So now we're going to talk about the columns. So the first column, it has the week of. So the dates that are there are Monday through Friday dates. I don't do like Sunday through Sunday, I do Monday through Friday. So January 6th to January 10th is the first week, and January 6th was a Monday and January 10th was the Friday. So that's what I did for every single week of the entire year, no matter what. So if you're gonna be closed for a vacation, I include it here. If you know that you are gonna be out for maternity leave, I still put the weeks there. And the only reason why I do it is because, again, this is itemized and this is super detailed. So every year I go ahead and I make these, and I go week by week by week by week. So that's the first column. It's just the weeks of the entire year. Then the second column, we have amount paid. So again, in this case, Rebecca pays $100 a week, and that's what you're going to be inserting in the second column. And then you have the receipt number. So these are the receipts that I use. These are the receipt books that I use, and these are from Sam's Club. And basically what it is, it looks like this. So the white copy is what the parents keep. So when you tear it out, you have a yellow copy, and this is the one that I just keep at the end of the year. I just keep the book. So up here, there's a receipt number. So in this case, it's 807-521, and that's what I would put in the receipt number. So every week they get a receipt, and every receipt has a number, and I input it for every single week. If, let's say, Rebecca paid me for 2 weeks, instead of making 2 separate receipts, sometimes I'll do $200. So 100 and 100, $200, and then I'll put the weeks that it covers, just so that it can be 1 receipt and I'm not wasting so many. And then on this one, you just write the same receipt number in both weeks that were covered, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, but these are the receipt books that I use. I really like them, I highly suggest them, and again, that's the number that's gonna go in the third column. And then the last column, I put any notes. So since we're using Rebecca as an example, if you look at the first week, it says that she paid $0. And the reason why she paid $0 was because she was unenrolled. So anytime the amount paid is different than the regular tuition, I add a note. So for example, if you scroll down a little bit more, from March 16th to March 20th, it says $0, and it says there's no receipt number because I was closed for vacation. You guys get what I'm saying? So again, anytime that their tuition is different, I like to write notes, because I want them to know why that column or that amount paid is different than what they normally pay. So again, if you scroll down a little bit more, from March 30th to April 3rd, you see that there's $50, and if you read the notes, that's why she was charged $50. I currently did that for my parents. I gave them 50% off of regular tuition because some parents want to keep their children home, and I, didn't want to charge them full price, so I go ahead and I made that adjustment for them. And then if you keep scrolling, I believe that there's one where she paid more. It says that it said she paid $150, and it says sibling Robert attended. So the reason why she paid me $150 for that week was $100 for Rebecca, and then $50 was for Robert, and that's why she paid $150. So at the end, on my computer, I have this column specifically, which is the last column, the one that says $5,000. I have it formulated that anytime I input a number at the top, it adds it up for me automatically. So the 5,000, I didn't type that. It added up the 150, all of the hundreds, the $0, all of it, it added it up automatically. Again, I have that formulated on my computer, and it put $5,000. So if I was to go to the last week of the year and delete the $100 and just put 0, it'll take $100 off of the $5,000 automatically. That's the reason why I wanted to do a separate video on how I make the tuition charts, because again, there's formulas that are added. That's the only formula that's added, but there's a formula that's added, and I wanted to be able to explain how I did that. So this is basically what my tuition chart is. It's just basically an itemized statement of what the parents paid for the entire year. Everything is black and white. They can see which weeks they paid for, which weeks they didn't. I've had parents that would bring their kids, and then one time a child unenrolled for like 2 months, and then they came back, and the parent at the end of the year was like, oh, I'll just take their tuition, I'll multiply by 52 weeks, and I got my amount. And then I had to remind her, hey, I was closed for 2 weeks. You unenrolled him for 8 weeks, so you can't just take the tuition and multiply by 52 because there are different things that happened, and you didn't pay me that amount, you actually paid me less. So again, I really do like my tuition charts. I feel like they're very, very, very detailed, and they give a lot of information, and again, everything is black and white when it comes to finances. So that basically completes my video on my tuition charts. I hope that it was helpful for you guys. Maybe this is something that you guys can also create on your own to be able to make this a lot easier. I have parents that love my tuition charts. Some of them are shocked at how detailed it is, but how efficient it is, and I get a lot of compliments saying that it's very organized, and I really do agree because again, it's very detailed. There's no gray area, and I keep notes for every dollar that I get in my program. If you guys have any questions about my tuition charts, leave them down in the comments below. You can email me. You guys know that I respond to you guys. I'm constantly talking with you guys, and you can also leave me a comment down below if you guys have any questions as well. So that basically completes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, and I will see you guys in my next video.